This is Aussie Mac Zone. We'll cover everything Apple, including Macs, iPhones, iPads, and more. All this from an Aussie perspective. Sit back, relax, and insert yourself into the zone. The Aussie Mac Zone.
Hi everybody, welcome to show 290 Aussie Mac Zone. So firstly, start off apologising for last week and apologising for last night also. Just massive amounts of work, sickness one week and then massive amounts of catch up. So I apologise for that personally. And Zarn, how are you, buddy?
Fantastic, Michael. How are you? It's good to be back.
It is good to be back, yes.
I feel like it's been weeks since I've been here.
Yep.
And we've got so much news to catch up on.
There is.
I'm excited.
I thought it was going to be a little quiet time, with these betas, which we're not even really talking about any betas tonight because, but yeah, Apple have just released version 2 of everything that they released at the Worldwide Developers Conference.
Yep.
And they've even made the public beta of the Mac OS software available.
That's right.
People want to really get in there. Doesn't fully work with your iPhone properly yet if you're running,
Yes.
the non-public betas of that. So just be aware.
Yep.
Yeah. So don't forget, we have IT Help to You and Aussie Tech Heads Domains assisting us tonight
Excellent.
with our Aussie Apple ramblings. So we've got a few public awareness reports. Now, first one tonight, Apple recalls MacBook Pro batteries, adding to its list of laptop problems. Apple has announced a recall for some of its MacBook Pro laptops because of, problematic and potentially hazardous batteries. The batteries, according to Apple's support page, may overheat and pose a fire safety risk. The recall is said to affect 15-inch MacBook Pros with Retina display sold between September 15 and February 2017. And Apple is replacing for free batteries on eligible laptops. Now, the battery issues may very well only apply to a limited number of laptops, which is what the company almost always says when there's a problem with its hardware. But Apple sells millions of computers per year. 18 million Macs were sold in 2018. So even a substantial number of impacted machines could still be considered limited. So if you've got half a percent of 18 million computers is a lot, isn't it?
Totally.
And that's the hassle with Apple, because Apple are so popular.
Yes.
And they're like that one brand. When something goes wrong, they've got a lot. And that's why ramping up for production and things is a pain, because they've got so many. So we do have on the show notes, of course, there's an info link that you can go to at Apple, where you can click on it, put your serial number of your computer in, which is on the bottom of the computer or in Apple menu about this Mac, and it's got your serial number there. You can add that and it'll tell you if yours is one of the affected ones or not. And there's also a link to the story from Wired. Thank you very much.
Excellent. Yes.
Now, this one, a little bit of reading in this, but please enjoy it with me because it's memory lane for me. So, Lifehacker reports it's been 30 years since Australia connected to the internet.
Really?
Yeah. So when Australia joined the global internet on June 23, 1989, via a connection made by the University of Melbourne, it was mostly used by computer scientists.
I was going to say, we didn't get it until about 94.
Yeah.
Like the public. So
yeah.
Yeah.
Three decades later, more than 86% of Australian households are connected to the internet. But it was a slow start. At first, network capacity was limited to very small volumes of information. This all changed thanks to the development of the vastly more powerful computers and other technologies that have transformed our online experience. One of those technologies is probably in front of you right now, the screen. Look at how you view the web, email, and apps today, not just on large desktop screens, but also handheld devices and perhaps even with an internet-connected wristwatch.
That's right. We're broadcasting live on the internet right now.
Yes. And it was barely imaginable 30 years ago. which is not very long.
It's not long at
In
all.
the scheme of things.
I remember when video calls were a thing in Star Trek.
Yep.
And you'd think, wow. I remember being young thinking, man, imagine if you'd be able to make video calls, all the silly faces I could pull. Now, my kids video call me all the time, 4 and 2 years old, pulling stupid faces at me. and me, yes, that's right, and me pulling silly faces at them back, loving every minute of it. So
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely. Now, by the time Australia first connected, the internet had been developing for 20 years. The very first network had been turned on in the United States in 1969. Australia too had networks during the 80s, but distance and a lack of interest from commercial providers meant these were isolated from the rest of the world. Now, the first international link provided just 56 kilobytes of national connectivity, a 20th of a megabyte for the whole country.
Yeah.
That is not even enough to play a single piece of music from a streaming service encoded at 128K. And it would take a week for a movie to be transferred to Australia. But at that time, digital music, video, and images were not distributed online.
That's right.
Nor was the internet servicing a large community. Most of the users were academics or researchers in computer science or physics. With continuing connection came live access. The most immediate impact was that email could now be delivered.
Well, that's what it was. It was just an information share platform.
Yep, that's
It was
right.
Scientists from California being able to send scientists from Melbourne information on, certain star configurations and satellites orbiting the planet and things like that. So, yeah.
Well, one of my earliest ones was getting machines in a suburb of Sydney in a research laboratory, getting them access to the server in their country in their head office in America, giving them access. And we're talking like at 56K. We're not talking like now.
Yeah.
And
you're thinking like 56K, and everyone's, I'm sure everyone watching is laughing at that, because most of us, are sort of, in between 50 and 100 meg down, at home, so.
Yeah, and we didn't have pictures or anything. We would just get on, we type, get off, get on, type.
Yeah.
That was all there was to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was from one laboratory in Australia.
It was basically a text message service.
Yeah, basically. Yeah, so awesome times. Awesome times. Now, more on our theme of public safety. Forbes reports, now, warning issued for millions of Microsoft 10 users. I know we're a Mac place, but we're looking after our Windows people here. Windows 10 has enough problems to deal with right now, but Microsoft partners just made things a lot worse. Picked up by Gizmodo, acclaimed Californian security company SafeBreach has revealed that software pre-installed on PCs has left millions of users exposed to hackers. Moreover, that estimate is conservative, with the number realistically set to be hundreds of millions. The flaw lies in PC Doctor Toolbox, systems analysis software which is rebadged and pre-installed on PCs, made by some of the world's biggest computer retailers, including Dell, Alienware, Staples, and Corsair. Dell alone shipped almost 60 million PCs last year, and the company states PC Doctor Toolbox, which it rebrands as part of Support Assist, was pre-installed on most of them. What SafeBreach has discovered is a high security flaw which allows attackers to swap out harmless DLL files loaded during Toolbox diagnostic scans with DLLs containing a malicious payload. The injection of this code impacts both Windows 10 business and home PCs and enables hackers to gain complete control of your computer. What makes it so dangerous is PC makers give Toolbox high permission level access to all your computer's hardware and software so it can be monitored. The software can even give itself new higher permission levels as it deems necessary. So once malicious code is injected via Toolbox, it can do just about anything on your PC. Now, worse still, PC makers are currently engaged in a game of whack-a-mole trying to make Toolbox secure. Safety Breach reports it initially found flaws in Toolbox back in April, and Dell released a patch to address it. But now Safety Breach has found further vulnerabilities, and it looks highly that they will not be the last. The end result is many Windows 10 users exposed to the problem are unlikely to even know they have it because who actually uses pre-installed bloatware? As such, my advice would be to search your computer and uninstall it. Dell builds Toolbox into Support Assist. Corsair relabels it as One Diagnostics or just Diagnostics. Staples calls it Easy Tech Diagnostics. Toby refers to it as iSeries / Dynavox Diagnostic Tools. And there will inevitably be more partners, so do your research. So basically what they're saying right now, if you went out and bought a new machine today,
Yep.
the first thing you should do is erase it.
Yep.
And put on just Windows, and then worry about, then Microsoft Office or Google or whatever you want to put on.
Yep.
But get rid of all the crap that comes on these stupid machines. On these machines in the first place.
Yes.
Yes, we're a Mac place, and yes, I'm picking on Windows, but it's important to know.
That's right.
What to do and how to stop me picking on you. Now, don't forget, we are brought to you by IT Help to You at ithelptoyou.com.au. Go and have a look at my little dark mode website. It's not really dark mode because I haven't just changed it from black to white, but I have made it a dark-based website instead of a light-based website. So people working in the middle of the night can enjoy it, and people working during the day, it doesn't matter. You can still read it and see it and get your information without any hassle. So
excellent.
ithelptoyou.com.au. Gaming, young Zarn. Gaming. Let
me tell you. So, I haven't been here for, was it 3 weeks now?
4 months, 5 months?
Yeah, something like that. Been busy and been sick and, oh, God. But what I'm here to talk about is the developer games shared at E3. So, an young Aussie fella named Anthony Tan, he's 20 years old. He's a game developer from Melbourne. And, hang on a second, where am I? Sorry, I'm using a new format here and I'm trying to keep up with it. Watched Microsoft's pre-X3 Xbox briefing earlier this week with bated breath like more than 1 million people around the world. He saw the company's highlight 60 games over more than an hour and a half, and they're between 12 minutes in Microsoft's own Gears of War 5. There was a minute-long trailer of a game about a pair of deers collecting light, avoiding wolves in a mysterious world. The game Anthony Tan has been working on for years, like over 3 years. He's been doing this, and he's quoted to say, "Dude, it was insane for me." He says, seeing his work on a massive screen at the Microsoft Theatre in LA, to see it like, Keanu Reeves, Halo, Gears of War, and then just my little deer game. It was surreal. Felt like a dream. Well, again, this is so cool.
Yes, absolutely.
And Anthony's game is called Way to the Woods. In the game, your players need to collect light to illuminate certain objects and work out how to stay alive. Tan says he was inspired by the film Spirited Away, where Chihiro enters fantastical and ancient unknown place where everything she encounters hints at the rules and stories of the world. Except in Way to the Woods, some of the artifacts encountered by the deer have been left there by humans. So this is in a realm where humans no longer exist. Animals have now got their certain powers and are evolved in different ways. So, from us to Anthony, congratulations.
Absolutely.
It's amazing. Congratulations, mate, for being so young, so dedicated, and so accomplished now. So,
yes. Yeah.
Excellent. So, on to the second story. Apple is a company that is often accused of not really getting gaming, but that hasn't stopped it from sliding into the planet's fourth biggest gaming company.
Yep.
So, I don't even know how that happened. A gamer myself.
Look in your hand. Look in your hand.
I know.
Or as forgotten her name now. The big TV star from America, where she goes, 1 million pockets. 1 million pockets. That's how you got a billion pockets. So 1 billion phones out there.
Yep.
With at least one game on it, I'd reckon.
Yep. Absolutely. That's according to the new reports by analysts at Newzoo, which say that the App Store is...
Sorry, I've just been reminded it's Oprah.
It's Oprah.
Yeah, sorry about that.
That's okay. Yes, you're right. It's Oprah. I didn't even think of that. So you said that to me, and I have no idea. So Newzoo, which says the App Store is helping make iPhone one of the biggest gaming companies on the planet. Throughout the globe games market, Newzoo covers the top 35 public companies whose business is gaming. So you got, was it Tencent?
Tencent, yeah.
Yeah, Tencent, Sony, Microsoft make up the top 3 spots, with Apple sitting 4th. You got Activision, Blizzard is the 5th. Wow.
Yeah.
I thought like Activision Blizzard would have been more in one of the top 3 because they make everything. Another interesting fact is that the top 35 companies make up 82% of the global games revenue for 2018 as well. So
that's well spread around a bit. 35. Yeah.
35 companies. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
The global games revenue. So with the top 5 ranking in about, is it 40, ranking in about 43% of the collective. Of those top 5 companies, Apple earned a reported $9.45. So what's that? $9 No, $9.45 billion from gaming, which is a healthy 18% up on 2017. So in 2 years, we gained 18% of the gaming market and profit, which is pretty good. That's also some that is likely to increase in the future, with Apple Arcade arriving later this year. Can't wait for this.
Yes.
I wish I had more information for everybody. I was going to share something that we'd already shared. I didn't realize we'd already shared it because I've been away. It's just about connectivity with the controllers for either your PS4 or your Xbox. But we've already shared that, so it is on our podcast. You just need to find it. So when Apple Arcade will allow game fans to pay a monthly fee to get it, and sorry, I'm just going to move that up so I'm not looking down at everybody. So you're going to pay a monthly fee to get access to some of the best games on Apple's platform. Pricing hasn't yet to be confirmed, but is promised to be a big deal for developers and fans of top-notch games alike.
Looking forward to it. Even I'm looking forward to it. I'm not a big gamer.
Yeah, I want to get in there. Like the games I have seen from there, look excellent. Even just the little card games that like Mason and I can play together, are fantastic. So I'm really dying to get in there. I brought Monopoly for Xbox about a week ago, and Kellyanne and I were playing it the other night, and Mason was really interested and liked how it worked, and so we were sort of explaining that to him. Violet was there as well, his best friend, her parents as well, were playing, and him getting interested in the Xbox and playing Monopoly made me think that I would like to sort of show him how to play a bit more, get him interested, and so therefore we can sort of share that together a bit more, which would be cool. On saying that, the next game I'm talking about is Marvel Hero Tales.
Yep.
And now this encouraged kids to develop scripts and stories from Marvel characters, which then pay off with visual and animated sequences. The young authors can see Spider-Man swing into action to stop the bad guys by selecting the right words to describe the scene according to Kuato Studios. The app helps develop vocabulary skills through using visualization, rewards, and repetition, building comprehension and what's that word?
Retention.
At the same time. The interactive activities position superhero characters as role models to reinforce reading as a good source of information by allowing users to find clues and other important information in newspapers, secret files, and other websites. So that I'm really interested in as well. I'll be getting that for Mason. We'll definitely be working with that together. Not the fact that I actually love comic books as well is a big bonus for me, and he loves Spider-Man and all that sort of stuff as well. Hence, we watch it all the time. So
it's going to be an interesting one. That one.
Yeah, I can't wait for that. Well, that's gaming. So, what have you want to add anything to that, Michael? Are we all good or?
No, that's it.
Excellent.
There's a lot going on. That's the thing. So.
Absolutely. There you go, guys. That's 3 weeks worth of information jammed into that tiny little section. Michael, back to you.
Congrats to Anthony from all of us.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yep. Now, another public awareness. The Washington Post reports it's time to switch browsers. Written by Jeffrey Fowler again. You open your browser to look at the web. Do you know who is looking back at you? Over a recent week of web surfing, I peered under the hood of Google Chrome and found it brought along a few thousand friends. Shopping, news, and even government sites quietly tagged my browser to let ad and data companies ride shotgun while I clicked around the web. This was made possible by the world's biggest snoop of all, Google. Seen from the inside, its Chrome browser looks a lot like surveillance software. Lately, I've been investigating the secret life of my data, running experiments to see what technology really gets up to under the cover of privacy policies that nobody reads. It turns out having the world's biggest advertising company make the world's most popular web browser was about as smart as letting kids run a candy shop. It made me decide to ditch Chrome for a new version of Mozilla Firefox, which has default privacy protections.
Yes.
Switching involved less inconvenience than you might imagine. The test Chrome versus Firefox unearthed a personal data caper of absurd proportions. In a week of web surfing on my desktop, I discovered 11,189 requests for tracker cookies that Chrome would have ushered right into my computer, but were automatically blocked by Firefox. Now, these little files are hooks that data firms, including Google itself, use to follow what websites you visit so they can build profiles of your interests, income, and personality. Chrome welcome trackers even at websites you would think would be private. I watched Athena and the Federal Student Aid website set cookies for Facebook and Google. They surreptitiously told the data giants every time I pulled up the insurance and loan services login pages, and that's not the half of it. When you look in the upper right corner for the Google browser, you see a picture or a name in a circle. If so, you're logged into the browser and Google might be tapping into your web activity to target ads. Don't recall signing in? I didn't either. Chrome recently started doing that automatically when you use Gmail. Chrome is even sneakier on your phone. If you use Android, Chrome sends Google your location every time you conduct a search. If you turn off location steering, it still sends your coordinates out, just with less accuracy.
Jesus.
So, yeah, there'll be a link there for the rest of that story.
Yeah, there's definitely a link there. So, on that topic,
yeah,
I sent a message through Facebook the other day. I was talking to a friend of mine.
Yeah.
And just chatting back and forwards through Messenger, and said that the carpet in their house that we rent's pretty old, and we were seeing if we could get permission to take the carpet out, get the floors done, and I was going to look for a quote.
Yep.
No more than 48 hours later, Facebook had ads for companies in my area for floor sanding and polishing.
What a coincidence.
I know, right? When I was looking for a quote.
What a coincidence.
I know. So it's real.
Yep.
Yep.
Just like that.
Yep.
It's amazing, isn't it?
I know. It's a little bit scary sometimes.
Yeah. Now, 9 to 5 Mac tells us, survey finds 97% of enterprise Mac users feel more productive after switching from Windows. Here's another one of Michael's bias stories. Now, Vance and Bourne, a third-party market research firm, was hired by JAMF, which is a software company, can conduct this. The software company that makes device management software. So you know where your laptops are, you know, they've all got the same, they're locked, or they've all got the same software, they're updated properly, etc.
Yep.
Now, conduct a survey to uncover key drivers of Apple in enterprise adoption and satisfaction with the Mac. Their results reveal incredible levels of employee satisfaction, productivity, creativity, and collaboration for Mac users across all types of employee groups: IT, human resources, sales, and engineering. When asked how their work has improved as a result of using a Mac for work, the answers were very favorable for Apple in the enterprise. 97% of respondents claim increased productivity. 95% claim increased creativity. 94% claim self-sufficiency with technology, and 91% claim increased collaboration. Moreover, the vast majority of people surveyed, 79%, stated that they would not be able to do their jobs as well without a Mac. And I personally echo these results, as I would gladly purchase my own computer over having to use a Windows machine. I've become accustomed to the flexibility of apps like Alfred, PDF Pen, and Solver. And as an iPhone user, I also love the seamless integration between my mobile devices and my laptop.
Absolutely.
And that's what people at 9 to 5 Mac take. But that's an outside company being asked to check it out.
Yep.
Brilliant. And yes, I am very biased, and I know it.
Yep. There's nothing wrong with being like a little biased anyway. You know, I've got mates that are, you know, pure Android and everything like that, then that's fine.
Absolutely.
You know, if that's what they know, and then that's fine. You know, clearly we know better.
Yeah, but if you it's like using Google. If you want to use, I don't have any problem using. I use Google.
Yeah, so do I.
but I understand the risks or the reasons. There's people with a Gmail accounts.
Yep.
They understand the risks and what could or could not be happening.
Yep. I've used Firefox when I had PCs. I don't have PCs anymore.
Yep.
When I had PCs, I did use Firefox.
Yep.
I found it was just a little bit easier to use as well.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Now, CNET tells us Google says Apple's new sign-in button is a good idea. At WWDC, Apple unveiled a new privacy tool called Sign In with Apple. So like you see those buttons, sign in with Google, sign in with Facebook. Yeah. Apple appeared to take a shot at its competitors by saying that even free services need to respect privacy.
Absolutely.
Now, Google's Mark Risher reportedly wasn't pleased about the jab that thinks the technology will make people safer, but thinks the technology will make people safer. There's a bunch of innuendo wrapped around the release that suggested that only one of them, that's talking about the login buttons, is pure, and the rest of them are kind of corrupt. And obviously, I don't like that, Risher, a director of product management at Google, told The Verge in an interview published last Wednesday. Risher said Google hasn't properly articulated exactly what happens when a user clicks sign in with Google, which could lead to misunderstandings at a time when people feel unsafe in the digital world. Overall, Risher said using Google's sign-in option or sign in with Apple is better than just using random usernames and passwords. And we've just had a story, Mr. Risher, about what happens when you are working with sharing your information with Google.
That's
so
right.
maybe if you articulated exactly what's happening, there wouldn't be a story there. But yeah, and Apple said anytime, so if you've got an Apple app and you've got a button that says sign in with Facebook, sign in with Google, sign in with WeChat, whatever, the top button has got to be sign in with Apple.
Yep.
Which is fair enough. And it gives you a lot of choices. You can still get emails, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, you can work out that this company's sending me 400 emails a week. You can decide what to do then while you're playing the game or whatever. But yeah,
yep,
you'll be aware. Now, here's an annoying one. The Sydney Morning Herald reports email concerns for Australian IT chiefs amid a deluge of malicious spam. 70% of emails in Australia were spam last month. 70%. And you think how many emails are going around? And many contain security threats. If your email inbox has been harder to sift through than usual, this might be why. 7 in 10 million emails were spam. Now, that's according to security and network equipment manufacturer Cisco, which provides services that monitor and filter corporations' emails to weed out security threats and spam. While some spam is caught by filters, it can still get through, and some contain security threats, which is why we tell you, don't click on all of this crap.
If you don't know who it's from, don't open it.
And yeah, and even when you think you know where it's from, have a closer look at it before you do
read
anything.
It properly. Don't just open it.
Last month, the Australian Competition and Consumer Commission warned that Australian businesses lost an estimated $7.2 million to email scammers last year. However, the number is likely to be much higher as most email scams aren't reported.
That's right.
The same report from the ACCC also pointed out 53% jump in business email compromise in the same year, and that Australian consumers reported losing $107 million to agencies that monitor fraud, which includes ScamWatch and the Australian Cybercrime Online Reporting Network. Of the $107 million stolen from consumer investment scams, saw Australian consumers fleeced of some $38.8 million, while dating and romance, dating and romance scams saw $24.6 million. That's actually might be cheaper to it's cheaper than getting married anyway, isn't it? But anyway.
No.
Remote access scams, where a computer is taken over by a person purporting to help you to fix a problem. 4.8 million. Forced billing saw 5.5 million. That's where people will send you an invoice just made out to you because they've got your information from somewhere and saying, please pay this bill. And you go, oh, that's the water bill, and pay it, and it's gone into their account. You don't even think about it. And then you get another water bill 3 weeks' time and go, I thought I paid that. Oh, no. Boom, boom, boom. Yeah. And then hacking, just where they just get into your account and transfer the money, 3.3 million.
That's actually not too bad considering. I know it should be zero, but 3.3 million isn't too bad.
Yeah, but that's on the hardest part of the work, but
Yeah.
That's where, like, we don't even know that it's happening. But yeah, please, please, please think about it. We can't tell you enough. Like, now, again, this week we're brought to you by Aussie Tech Heads Domains. What a great bunch of people Aussie Tech Heads are. Podcasting, yeah. We've got podcasting, we've got domains, we've got Aussie Tech Radio. But the domains, you can buy any domain that you can think of, really. And it's getting harder and harder and harder to get something that's realistic, that's got .com or .com.au after it. But now you can have, Joe.accountant or, that sort of thing. Fred, Michael Seamons.me or, bhp.engineering, that sort of thing. You can have something that tells people what you do, and it's not that hard, it's not that expensive. Aussie Tech Heads Domains, just have a think about it. You think of all the domain names that you can have, So Aussie Tech Heads Domains, just have a think and then go in and register the domain that suits you, and then think about getting a website at the same time. Get it underway. Now, here's our good news story. A teenager didn't come home, and an iPhone app led her mother to a ravine. Macy Smith, 17, spent nearly 7 hours pinned underneath a car after a crash. As the car carrying Katrina Kramer Alexander and her family navigated the dark 2-lane road that snaked through the dense forest near Pilot Mountain in North Carolina, the mother's eyes were glued to her iPhone screen. It was late on June 7, and Alexander was searching for her daughter, Macy Smith, who had missed curfew and wasn't answering her phone. And according to the locator app on Alexander's phone, the 17-year-old was nearby. The small pulsating blue dot that marked Alexander's location kept moving closer and closer to where Smith was supposed to be, when suddenly something caught her eye. A set of tyre tracks running off the road. That's all I could see, Alexander said. But the app, Apple's Find My Friends, wasn't wrong. Smith was there, hidden from view about 25 feet down the side of a tree-covered embankment. The teenager had been trapped in the wreckage of a car for almost 7 hours, and she was alive. She was alive. Having that location, if we didn't have that, we would have never known where to look, Alexander told the reporter. I'm certain that this is what saved her life. So Mum found her, and then they went through the process from there. And yeah, she wasn't hurt bad. She was just pinned under the car.
That's so lucky.
Yeah,
And Find My Phone is an excellent app. Find My Friends. I know that we all use it all the time. To see where we are, and you're on your way home. Can you grab this or whatever? And we use it for funny reasons as well. And so it's good that it's actually saved a girl's life.
Yeah, another one done. Saved. Yep. Excellent. Congratulations, Apple, again, to that group of people in that department of Apple. Thank you very much.
Yes, absolutely.
Yep. So that's what I've got.
Yep. All our notes are there. So if you wanted to look anything up or what we've talked about, all the links to the shows and reports we've got, they're all there.
Yep, they will be.
Yep.
They'll be put up tonight, hopefully, at the same time as the show. See as how I'm a day late.
Yep.
Yeah. So don't forget, you can look for us in Spotify. Just search Aussie Mac Zone. Apple News, Aussie Mac Zone. Thanks to our sponsors this week being Aussie Tech Edge Domains and IT Help to You. And most importantly, our supporters, you, our listeners. And don't forget, we're not next week, the week after, we'll be talking exactly what we're going to do for show 300.
Woohoo!
Awesome. It's not that far away. It's not that far.
It's not at all.
And it'll be a lot warmer than it is now by then.
Oh, God, I hope. It's absolutely freezing at the moment.
Even if I have to delay it for another couple of weeks, we'll get back in that warmth.
That's right.
Yeah. So, one last thing before we go, which I didn't put in the show notes, but Hot Wheels has got this awesome little game.
Yes.
Which is at your Apple stores. Go in and have a look at it.
Is that the? It's just that we got to drive your Hot Wheels truck up and down the track.
Yeah.
Jump it and collect coins and all that sort of stuff.
Yep.
I've got that. That's a great game.
No.
I've been playing that for a couple of years now.
But this is a new one. It's actually a new track.
Awesome.
Hardware track, not just a game.
All right, cool.
But, incorporates your cars into the game. Blah blah blah.
Yep.
You can see who's fastest, who's not fastest. Blah blah blah. So, go and have a look at it.
Oh, I'll check it out.
Ask them to demo it too, because when I went to sit in Apple the other day, they only had part of the track there. They should be on the main. Being a car racing person, should be in the main part of the store, in the middle, the whole track, and everybody having a go.
Absolutely.
So go for it. Yeah.
Excellent.
And I'm handing it over to you, Zarn. Thank you, buddy. Thank you.
Thank you, listeners. Thank you, sponsors. Thank you, watchers. Thank you, friends and family. And remember, an apple a day keeps the androids away. See you guys.